Good evening. I'd like to call the village board meeting to order. It is 7:42. Has the meeting been publicly noticed?
What statement? The meeting has been posted and noticed according to law.
Thank you. And the clerk has left me a reminder to have everyone speak into the microphone so that the recording can pick up our voices. It looks like all trustees are present. First order of business is a special order of business tonight. It is a resolution, it's a consideration of a resolution to amend our polling location and also to amend our designation of polling location election boards. However, I would like to defer the item until, is it the next agenda? February 4th. Till the February 4th agenda. President Shaw has listed board, we requested the school board give direction, formal direction through a letter to the village to request us to move the polling location. So it is on their agenda tonight. I've communicated with her, she's called me twice. And so after their vote tonight, she'll forward on whatever letter they vote on, and then we can have it for our files when we vote on it on February 4th. So that is okay. And is there there was no issue with deferring the timing?
No, it provided sufficient time. So if that is the board's pleasure, it would be my recommendation to defer items 4A and B to February 4th.
Okay, so I have a question regarding this. Can I ask this now or do I have to wait for a question? Good. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't motion. I was just suggesting a motion. Oh, she did. Okay.
I didn't make a motion though. I was just requesting.
Oh, okay. So what are we saying? We're waiting for a letter from the school board giving us direction, but we already kind of know in which direction they're leaning? Or I would just hesitate to postpone this because we do have to let people know. Yeah. And even though we don't have a primary, the election is just a couple months away. So the more time that we have to notify those that are affected, which is 4 wards, then I think that we should, capitalize on it. So I guess my recommendation is if we know the direction the school board is leaning, that we say with pending the, we can have
Do you know the direction?
Oh, I thought you did.
No. So we haven't had communication with the school board. So we just recently realized that it's a statutory requirement that the village board actually take action. That's why. That's why I think the management administration had gone forward, but it's a statute. And so because our elected body needs to take action, when I had previous conversations with President Shaw during prioritization, we had communication with administration, but the school board was not aware that they had made that request. I believe now they are aware, and
but I'm sure we would have, okay, I'll speak for myself. I'm pretty positive I would have heard something from at least one of the 5 school board members if they were not in support of moving the location from the school. So I guess, if we could vote on it tonight, we can always change it.
And there's not a fiscal note in here as of today unless it was added, but there will be some fiscal impacts, and so I think that.
I don't think, well, okay, I think most of us, because we've talked this, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we've discussed this in the past. It was my understanding that we had consensus on moving this forward at a board level. So I would say that I would not support deferring at least the discussion of this. Unless the school is going to come back and do a 180 and say, oh no, we want to keep it in Lake Bluff.
Trustee Carpenter and then Trustee.
Well, I guess my only question is the only reason why I would feel comfortable deferring it to the next meeting is to really understand the possibility of having the in-service days be on the election days, which is something that I believe that the school board has said is definitely a possibility. Because I have heard from some residents that there is some parking and some accessibility concerns for the polling place being in the church. So, that's the only reason why I think it would be beneficial just to wait till the next meeting. I do understand those concerns, but I think that to see if that's a possibility that we could then not even have to do all this resolution.
And Brian, Dr. Davis was going to be here to address some of those questions, but knowing that it was on the school board agenda, we had mentioned we might at least try to defer it.
Just one note, so for purposes of this school year and at least for the school year, their days have been set. So it wouldn't have been possible for an in-service day. They did relay to me in conversations, meaning Dr. Davis as well as the principal, Patterson, that they would be, you know, for looking at that in the future. They just didn't know what the feasibility would be.
Right, and they might defer action too, so I can't feel, sorry.
And for purposes of notification, by statute, we notify everyone in that area by U.S. postal mail, and we would also take additional steps through other avenues.
Trustee Young.
Nathan, can I ask one question of you?
Sure.
I'm curious as to whether there's any other statutory requirements that we have to meet in order to move polling locations vis-a-vis, or especially with respect to moving a polling location from public property to private property?
Right, and that's baked into the whereas clauses. There's just a finding that basically this is in the interest of the municipality, and there's really nothing that you can use to compel the school district to allow their space to be used. So really, if they say no for whatever reason, if we don't want it there for security reasons or whatever, then you're in a box where you have to designate some other area. If this is the only other reasonable location that qualifies under the ADA requirements and those types of things, because there's a big process that I have to go through to get the site
Can you
cleared.
read that whereas clause? Maybe in the next, if we do defer it, we'll have a copy of the statutory language, because I found it very informative.
Let's see. It's pretty straightforward. The village board determines that pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute 5.25, it serves the interests of the public and chooses the polling place for wards 9, 10, 11, and 12 for the village of Shorewood to the North Shore Presbyterian Church, and then gives the address.
No, I'm saying the statute.
Oh, it's 5.5.
The actual, so if we defer it, there's actually like clauses that say it should be in a public space. If that's not possible, then it can go to a private space. So I think it would be beneficial for the school board to kind of act to say, we want you to move, so that that's official, and then we can continue on. We fulfill that statutory requirement of making sure there's no public space available.
We could settle that in a motion and say if the school board does not allow us to use Lake Bluff School for polling places for wards 9 through 12, then.
Sure, but I'd like to still talk to them. I mean, they will be here at the next meeting.
We've been talking about this for years.
I know.
And we've been looking for a place that they didn't want us in the school. And how many elections, are they gonna, if we needed a primary, are they gonna schedule in-service days for the primary date, even though there may not be a primary, or?
When was the first we heard they wanted us to move? I thought it was during prioritization.
Oh, it's
Is it
been a year or
before?
two.
Well, I've only been here for a year.
Couple
But,
of
and so
years.
has the clerk, and so the clerk heard about it within the first month of her.
I mean,
Yeah, it's been-
President Shaw didn't even know about it when I talked to her during prioritization, because we talked about having a cop be at the polling location for this year, and she was like, yeah, that will work. So I didn't get that impression, but
Yeah, it's been a number of years.
Nathan, are we allowed
To move it?
to state in here, whereas if a public place such as Lake Bluff is unavailable, it will be moved to the Presbyterian Church, or does it have to state the one?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't recommend they do it on a contingency basis. I mean, I think you should either move it or don't, only because that may create confusion. You know, somebody looks at the minutes and says, oh, they moved it.
I gotcha.
It's contingent. So, I mean, I guess, really, I mean, this happens really all the time in municipalities, where, especially in smaller municipalities that are, you know, mile and a half square, and if there's not a suitable place, you know, a public place, you know, these designations are relatively common, and there was quite a bit of sort of behind the scenes stuff that had rigmarole to go through to get it, make sure that it was ADA compliant and all that other kind of stuff. So it passed all those tests. It's just waiting, you know, and if the school board says you can come back to us, great, and if they say no, then I mean, my understanding is staff went through a pretty rigorous process of determining what other potential locations would qualify within those wards. Is that a fair statement?
Well, anything, really any facility that would be able to handle.
But here's the question. Neither public governing body, I mean, that's why I need a copy of the statute for the board to read, because I feel very obligated when we read the language that we should keep it in a public space unless we aren't able to. And there's nothing that says formally, no governing body has acted yet. So coordination with the school board is a good thing. And you know, that's their governing body. And if they as a board feel it's very important for safety or for any other reason, because the security guard, from the last I communicated with just the president, the cop at the polling location was okay. We, in all actuality, in hindsight, we probably should have voted before we went through all the steps of ADA and all finding. We didn't, but that's okay. We can take a step back for a second. I just feel very obligated based on the statutory language that we have the governing bodies communicating. Trustee Manta.
You know, we had talked about the community space at the police station, and I don't know the status of that space, if there's electricity there and heat, if that's a viable, and that's a public space, and it's a space, you know, I think a little better located. I don't know, the parking situation may not be, I mean, I'm concerned about parking at the church, and I'm also concerned that this may be a crazy idea, but what if we moved 1 through 4 to the church and 9 through 12 to the other, you know, because I think there's some perception of moving the west side wards is potentially suppressing voter turnout for those people.
That's the school that they voted at, that the school district is asking. I mean, I get perception, but then there's also the reality. It's like, this is something that's been asked over the years, and I'm fine. If we
There
leave
has not been,
There's not
the President Rosick is correct, there has not been a formal request that the school board
then why
has
are we
voted on.
doing this? Then why do we have this on the agenda?
Because by statute, this board statutorily has to take action.
Understandable, why are we proposing a change, or why is a change in front of us?
It was my understanding over the years that the administration has said they prefer us not in the building just for security reasons. They don't want people coming in and out of the building. I don't know if they've increased their in-service or not. I'm a little concerned about having police officers at the polling place. A poll observer and a poll worker, it's kind of a chilling effect on the polling process, the voting process. You have police officers in the polling place the whole time.
a police officer, right?
I mean, I think that the police officer would use, I mean, I don't know if you've been at that polling location, but the way that they walk in and walk out, it would really be, from my understanding, that the police officer would not be standing in the polling location, but just making sure that people are escorted, but that there's nobody walking through to the registry. I think they're standing, you know, watching the polls, but,
Okay, Trustee Moore.
Okay, so Nathan, just to go back briefly, so are there any more filings that need to be made in order to formalize this move with the state? Or are we completely done with any filings or any kind of approvals that we need to see? I just want to make sure that we're
Yeah,
wet on
no,
that.
this place has been vetted. And so, I mean, really the bottom line is if the district says, well, we, you know, no, we told you, you can't come in here, and we don't act within 30 days to find an alternative appropriate location, and then we don't have a polling place.
And that's why I asked Rebecca if it was a timely matter, if this could be deferred or not. Because if that was the case, that, you know, if they say no, we wouldn't have time to get this out, then we wouldn't defer, I wouldn't propose deferring the item. But again, I, as a governing body, as president of this board, I don't want to move the polling location. I mean, it's not it's not initiated from us. It's initiated from the school, and the governing body of the school is the school board. And so until I hear from the governing body that they want the Village of Shorewood's election polls and wards to move, I'm not taking responsibility, I'm not comfortable taking responsibility to vote to put it in a church, a non-secular building, as us initiating that. I'm perfectly fine with it staying at the school and having security. So, but I will definitely, if the school board governing body says, hey, we want you to move, we think it's a safety hazard, we have to respect their wishes, and then we vote and we move.
Tristan, I completely agree with that, and since what I'm hearing is that we don't have a formal request from the school district to move the polling location. Is that what it, I mean, because if that's what I'm hearing, then there's no reason for us to vote on this tonight or until the school board comes to us. And if they would be in a really, which we're kind of putting them in a tricky spot as another governing body, because if they make that decision tonight, requesting that we do not conduct elections in Lake Bluff School, then we either have to have a special meeting, which I would recommend that we do, because I think that we need to be very timely about this. Kicking this out even 2 weeks at this point, if there, is uncertainty, is the last thing I would want to do for people.
Well, we'd still have to prepare mailing,
Can I add some clarification? So I have not received a request from the school board. However, I have received a request from the principal of Lake Bluff and the superintendent.
Then why don't we defer this to the end of the agenda tonight instead of out for 2 weeks, and then we can get confirmation